How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Farzi here, and I'm back with another conversation, discussion, whatever you want to call it. And today's topic is factory work, or more importantly, some common misconceptions about the job. And I know what you're thinking. This is probably going to be one of those, oh, fry cook workers shouldn't make as much money as a factory worker, blah, 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 blah. No. Well, yes and no. But I'm trying not to let it devolve into that, but at the same time, it may end up seeming that way. So, in fact, that's actually a good place to start, because what's been bugging me for the last few years is I saw this meme. It had like this 40s era assembly line, and okay, I already got that selected. It bugged the hell out of me for quite a few reasons, but the biggest issue with it, okay, was, yeah, it's like $35 an hour. You get you stay in one place for 30 years, then you get pension, retirement, benefits, all that, and you say a fry cook shouldn't make as much. Well, like I said, this is kind of one of those touchier, controversial topics, but fuck it. I'm a glutton for punishment anyways. Okay. Level 2, level 3, level 4. You know, I'm gonna think we're gonna stick this technology level 1. Okay, anyways. Leave it on Nexus AI so I don't get my ass kicked coming out of the gate. So, first things first, let's go ahead and get, at least what I see as one of the biggest misconceptions, is pay. So, for pay and benefits. So, first things first, you need to understand that, yes, factories do have a very high turnover. But depending on the job, you may not get paid as much as you think. So, one thing that I'm going to throw out there is, like I said, depending on where you start, you may not get paid that much, or you may make as much as a fry cook makes, or even less. So I'll give you an example. The place that I work at, I start off at $9 an hour.
Production completed.
And it's oh, whoops.
Production completed.
Okay, yeah, I started the design. All right. It was really interesting because here's the thing. Like a lot of people at the time, I believe that when you work in a factory, you're at least going to be making $16, $17, $18 an hour. No, that's actually what the supervisors and leads make at my job, or at least at the time. So, like I said, I started off at $9 an hour. Then after your 90 days, you got a 50-cent raise, and then after that, it went up to like $10.50, so you got to hold another $1 an hour. Then $11.50 or $11. I think it was like $11.50, and then you got then you capped out at 12 an hour. So yeah, again, depending on where you work and what you do, you may not make as much money as you think, or you could be doing backbreaking labor for pennies on the dollar. Again, it all depends on where you work and who you work for. And it's that common misconception that drives me absolutely batshit, okay? No getting around it. Because factory jobs, no matter where you work, are high stress. In fact, there was another thing I saw. Factory worker, it said that if I can find it, if I can find the memes, I will actually put them up. If I can't, then, well, you'll have to take my word for it. But anyways, so, actually, that may not be the best idea. Do your own research, kids. But anyways, as I was saying, so, like I said, the meme went that the average person's body is made up of 70% water. The average factory worker's job or body is made up of alcohol, junk food, ibuprofen, nicotine, and hate. Well, I can say with certainty that, granted, I'm not as bad as some of my coworkers, but ever since I started that job, I've I drink more than I used to. Granted, it's usually every couple of months, but still. Used to be, it'd be maybe once a year that I'd drink. Which is kind of surprising to me.
Major research completed.
Particularly how much a job can change your habits, behaviors, whatever. So, the jobs are high. The factory jobs of any sort of high stress. Like I said, the pay isn't great. There's actually a place, next town over that basically you made what I initially made. Our pay scale did go up. Nowadays, we do make that stereotypical $15, $16. Well, actually, yeah, be about 15. I make about $15, $16 an hour working at my job. So, and that's not factoring no overtime. But, like I said, you're not going to get paid as much as some people seem to think you are. In fact, you may end up start making as much as a fry cook, because from what I heard about 10, 15 years ago, when you started out at the factory, you made minimum wage. You made, I think, $7.25. It was either $7.25 or $7.50 an hour. So I think that was state minimum wage at the time. So, and mind you, making trash bags isn't the easiest work. I mean, it's easy enough. The job doesn't require a lot of brain power, so to speak. But at the same time, it's not easy. Which is going to lead to another thing that I'm going to throw out there. A lot of people seem to think that factory jobs have these massive conveyor belts. You're operating machinery. You got a lever you pull down. And depending on where you work, yes, that will be the case. But where I work, say for the machines that basically we make use to make the bags, it's all done by hand. You have to set up the lines by hand. You have to pack everything by hand. As a line operator, I do quality control. So all that jazz. So it's not entirely automated. There's stuff I have to do myself. I have to build my own boxes. We don't have these rows and rows of boxes just standing around or sitting around. And yeah, people seem to think that, hey, you have these like massive assembly lines. No. I mean, they are assembly lines, but no. We pretty much have to set up everything by hand. And once the machines get going, then the entire bag making process is automated, but we have to set up the bags, which means you're getting close to hot plastic. You risk being dragged in the machines, which another subject we'll talk upon. I understand that being a fry cook can be pretty dangerous sometimes. I'm not going to downplay that, because you're working around hot oil. You've got, depending on where you live, you get robbed, whatever, and whatever. But yeah.
Research completed.
Yeah, you can get robbed, whatever. So yeah, I'm not downplaying the fact that every job has its risks. But in my case, a while back, I actually, and it was stupidity on my part. I accidentally got I wasn't watching what I was doing. I actually got caught in one of the machines. I've gotten caught in the machines a few times. Like one day I got, when I was running core rolls, I got caught because they had it running so fast that I wasn't watching what I was doing. Didn't take my hoodie off, and the strings got caught, and I got pulled into the core roller. Second, like the first time I ever got caught in a machine, my forearm got caught.
Construction completed.
So, yeah, my forearm got caught between one of the rollers, the gripper, the pieces the grippers are mounted on, got caught, didn't bruise, but it caught my arm, about crushed it. And then the third or fourth time I got caught was, I've got my fingers caught in the teeth on the grippers. But the fourth or fifth time I got caught was, I forgot to hit the E-stop and reached in from the top, not the... Probably the only reason I didn't lose any limbs or have fingers amputated was because I reached from the top rather than the bottom. And I got my elbow, where my elbow and my upper arm each caught. So, yeah. Factory work can be pretty dangerous. I think I got off topic with the pay. Because, shit. No, fuck it. We're doing this on this take. But anyways, yeah. So people, oh yeah, the meme on the alcohol, nicotine, hate, whatever. The point I'm getting at is factory work is dangerous. And I would not be surprised if that is a reason why we have why that meme is there, because it's high stress, you're working around heavy machinery all day. In my case, I'm not standing in one place. I'm running 2, 3, sometimes 3 lines, depending on how many people we have. And that gets dangerous unto itself, because depending on how fast those lines are running, you're not going to have time to get everything caught up. Or you may run into problems with... you may run into problems with a line, and this shit's all automated. So if something goes wrong, it doesn't stop. Period. You can't just shut down a line if something's going wrong and start it back up again. You don't really have the authority unless, something's major wrong, like if you've blown so many holes in your bubble in the last 15-20 minutes that you have to shut it down. And even if you completely lose the bubble, unless you get instructions from a lead, that as far as the guys up top are concerned, that bubble is still savable.
Major research completed.
So it's like, get it done. Or not get it done, yeah. Or not so much get it done, it's... shit. It's basically, you keep that line rolling no matter what, unless you cannot fix the problem. So... oh, hey, I forgot that auto-saved. So, yeah, I mean... It's kind of surprising how different it can actually be when you're doing, like, doing factory work and everything.
Production completed.
It's not just simply you stand in one place, hit a button. I mean, there's button pushers out there. There's plenty of button pushers out there.
Production completed.
Like I say, you're not always going to get paid as much. Like, I start off at, I think, $9.50 an hour. Like I said, $9.50 an hour when it used to be less. Now we do get paid, I'm not going to say the stereotypical $30 an hour, but we get paid about $15, $16 an hour at the plant I work at. And this was a very recent development. Like in the last 4 years that I've been there, the pay rate's gone up. It has. The pay rate's gone up in the last 4 years that I've been there. Which I know to some people is probably like, what? So, yeah. So between the pay and the high stress of the job, it's no small wonder that a lot of the jobs like that, and hell, even the cooking industry, some of the stories I've heard about a lot of chefs in the cooking industry, apparently that it has one of the highest rates of alcohol and substance abuse, high stress, all that. Our job, factory jobs, have a lot of the same issues. Most of the guys that I work with actually smoke. There's like a lot of weed going. A lot of people smoke weed. A lot of people. I think it actually used to be a lot worse. What I heard it told is that there are places, or not places, used to be that we had people doing more than just weed in there. We had, I think, the one day, one of the leads I was talking to, he was talking about there used to be a guy that worked there. He was constantly high. Looked at him one day and asked him if he wanted to do a line of acid. No, you don't want to do a line of acid there.
Construction completed.
Not at this job. It was just, it was something. It was something to hear. And it was kind of, like I said, it surprised me. It really did. Just hearing about some of this stuff.
Research completed.
Okay, let's set up a light cannon bunker.
Production completed. Production
and
completed.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of the entry-level jobs have issues like that too. People always coming in high, people coming in drunk. Now, again, I'm not trying to downplay this, but at the same time, I'm just trying to make. Fuck! I lost my line of thought there. Okay. Yeah. Long story short, it's not what you think. And yes, there are jobs that do involve sitting around or standing in one place operating machinery.
Major research completed.
I don't doubt that. But again, it also depends on where you work. Because that place I mentioned, the place the next town over, yeah, there's it's basically a sweatshop is what I got told. You work pretty much. Oh shit, where the hell did he come from? Okay, we gotta get rid of that. Okay. Come on, keep moving. Sentry down! But yeah, it's just... It just irritates the hell out of me when I hear that, that's all. Because people seem to almost always be under this impression that a lot of time, or seem to be under this constant impression that factory workers, they just stand in one place, operate machinery, whatever. And they get paid massive amounts of money for it. They have an easy job. No. There's a reason why, much like the fast food industry, fast food, restaurant industry, all the entry-level job positions, cashier, retail, all that, there is a reason why they have such a high turnover rate. And that is primarily because of aforementioned.
Major research.
Yeah, it's a high-stress job, often not worth the hassle of... Yeah, I guess it's the best way to put it. People often realize it's not worth the hassle of doing the job. Or sometimes they may get fired for not working. I mean, there's plenty of lazy people out there, just like there's plenty of well-motivated people. When you work a factory job, you're not always going to get the whole... You know, I think I'm actually having a harder time against the Nexus AI than I am the Nullbot. Anyway. So, yeah, fuck. I forgot where I was going with this. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, it's like the common misconceptions of, oh, you get paid to stand $40 an hour to stand in one spot. No. Hell no. Now, I'm not saying the job can't be easy, because there's times where the job is probably one of the easiest in the world. Like, I'll have days where, yeah, I pretty much am the stereotype, while not making $35 an hour, I am the stereotype of standing around, doing my job. I mean, I have to go, if I'm running one line, I just, okay, actually, that's not entirely true, because, unfortunately, my bosses have figured out that I am a well-motivated and very dependable worker, which kind of screwed me over in the long run, because they know that about me, and they know that I am very capable of doing my job, and can do it to a high degree, is what I want to say. So yeah, I kind of screwed myself in that regard. Anyways. But yeah. Like I said, I mean, people get fired for similar reasons that you get fired in another job. Sometimes the person that you're doing, or, yeah, the person that you fire isn't actually doing their job. Sometimes the person that you fire isn't gonna, it's just not worth paying them. And then sometimes you get people who've been fired because they hit their 90 days. The place of work didn't want to pay them. Didn't want to pay their benefits, didn't want to pay them the full wage, and decided to let them go. And then a few weeks later, maybe rehire them. Again, it all depends on the company and what you're working for. Or yeah, the company you work for, whatever. Which, I will say this much, that is a really shitty practice. The whole hiring somebody for having them work their 90 days, and depending on what you're doing, they could wear themselves out, or wear their body. They could suffer joint damage, whatever. So yeah, I mean, I had this whole conversation playing out in my head. I did. And I think I got so far off the rails. Okay, anyways.
Major research completed.
Like I said, fuck. The hell was I gonna say? Oh yeah. But like I said, it's not what everyone thinks. Like, you're not staying in one place. And don't get... Actually, you know, there is something else we'll get started on. Management. Okay? You know that stereotype that seems to be prevalent in all industries, some more than others, of that boss that just is there just trying to look good? You get that a lot in the manufacturing industry, too. We've got... It's like, for every couple of bosses you get a good boss. Like, you get a bunch of bad bosses, average bosses, and then you get the occasional good boss.
Major research completed.
So, yeah. Anyways. Oh, shit. What was I going to say now? I forgot. I've been having a lot of brain farts for this conversation, you know? Like, I have an idea of what I want to say. I can't quite put it in the right words. Okay, that's right, that's right. So, yeah, bosses. So, people assume that, or people, yeah, the whole stereotype about you getting bad bosses, it's the same anywhere else. You got good bosses, you got bad bosses, and you got okay bosses. It's the same way with everywhere else, so I will concede to that. Anyway, so... Oh, shit. Okay. I'm not always the best when it comes to this. I think I've already made that pretty abundantly clear. Okay. Yeah. Anyways. Boom. Oops. I call this the Panther. But, shit.
Major research completed.
Actually, you know what? We're going to redesign that. The high velocity... Actually, no. Call this Panther HV. Okay, God damn it, I forgot what I was going to say now. Let's go. Okay. Alright. What was I going to say now? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the whole thing about bosses, like, you've seen in movies, bosses just sit around. That's true in any industry. You're going to have bosses that just sit around. You're going to have bosses that take an active role, and then you're going to have bosses that are just kind of a mix. We have that at the plant, so I'll concede to that one. Although I don't think anybody's ever said anything about factory bosses, aside from the fact maybe they complain that some bosses are slave drivers. And yes, there are... Yeah, it's another stereotype I have seen, is the slave driver factory boss, like, you need to make production quota X, X, and X. Well, it depends. Like, as a lineup, I don't have the expected amount of poundage that I'm supposed to have per hour. Like, we do... Like, there are certain... we do have production quotas we have to meet, but... It's mainly for the leads and supervisors and the lineups. We're just there to operate the lines and whatnot. So, yeah. Okay, so the whole thing on competency and general... What the hell was I going to talk about? Okay. So, one of the things is... something you do, another thing that I do run into pretty frequently when I'm doing, or when I'm just trolling the net, is the, or even just in media in general, the whole stereotype for,
Major research completed.
What is it?
Under attack.
God damn it, I forgot what I was going to say now. stereotype for the slave driver boss, you're going to have you will have those, and the other stereotype for the employees seem to be the only ones that know what they're doing. Okay, that, depending on where you're at, that can very much be true. Because there is a saying that I've learned is the higher up you go, the fewer brain cells you have. Yeah. And you'll have that in any workplace. Like, you'll have the guys on the ground that know what they're doing. Then you'll have the management, like the management that's on the floor. They'll have an idea of what they're, or actually no, they will know what they're doing, but they're not going to have the whole picture. And then you'll have the stereotypical boss is like the boss that's high, or not high, that's real high up on the chain, but doesn't seem to know what's going on and makes unrealistic demands of the production personnel. This is sadly more of a stereotype than most people realize. No. There are times where our bosses do make some pretty unreasonable production demands. Like here recently, our production manager basically had us push the lines to the point we've actually had to shut a few down. One of them was supposed to come up this week. I don't know if it's up yet. I'm actually on vacation this week. But it got to the point we were running out of lines, or starting to run out of orders. We got so far ahead, and I'm pretty sure the plant manager's like, why the hell are we shutting shit down? And I've had that. I've had the. I'm sure that I've met the plant manager. He's nice. Is the best way I can put it. And if he doesn't know something, or we don't have the knowledge or something, he's damn well going to make sure we get the knowledge. He's plenty nice. Again, does his job. Plenty nice. No. I don't want the chase cam. Hey. Oh, God damn it. Okay. Like, he'll make sure that everything's going smooth. He will talk to the. He'll go through, he'll talk to line ops, figure out what's going on, but he's not always going to have the complete picture. And he understands that, and we'll talk. He'll come in over the weekend, visit, make sure everything's running okay. He'll talk to the supervisors, talk to line ops, get a sense of what's going on, but not the production. Yeah, it was the plant manager, not the production manager that I was talking about. But the production manager, here's the thing. The one day, now mind you, we've been running non-stop. We are a 24/7 facility, which means what it means. We're constantly running, and just everything has to keep going. Constantly running, constantly. Yeah, everything has to keep running. Everything has to keep. Basically, we have to maintain this fast speed production. Now, of course, the production manager at least understands, or not production manager, the plant manager at least understands that we can only run so fast, and if we end up running things too hard, it's going to break machines, or you can end up running people out of the plant. We've had that happen. We've had occasions where he's run stuff so hard, or not production, we've run stuff so hard, we've had people straight up quit in the middle of their shift. Like, they'll go to lunch, and they will walk out. They'll walk out, won't come back. Granted, we haven't had that happen in a while. I can't remember the last time we actually had that happen. Or there'll be a no-call, no-show. We've actually had those happen quite a bit. But like I say, he at least understands that, hey, we can't push things as hard. But the production manager, he came through the one day, and he was... I'm trying to remember what he was doing. He went through and basically did up our pounds per hour. That's how much product we're putting out in an hour. How many pounds of product. He went through and did it, and mind you, some of these lines are putting out 300, 400, 500 pounds an hour. And he goes to, after he does all this, he goes to the supervisor that's on the floor and goes, we're not producing enough. exactly what he said to him,
Unit under
and had him go through and speed everything up. And while he was in the process of doing this,
unit under
I looked at one of my fellow line ops, and I'm like, now you watch. As soon as he gets done going through and doing everything,
under attack.
it's about to get faster.
Production complete.
Because I saw the supervisor back there adjusting it, and I talked to the supervisor when I saw him, and I asked him, so
Power resource.
did he have you speed everything up? And no, I think my response was, let me guess, we're not putting out enough, and he wants us to ramp up production. And he looked at me and said, how'd you guess? Or how'd you know? Lucky guess. And it's like, what a knucklehead. So it boils down to, I guess he adjusted just enough that it bumped the production numbers up just a little bit, but wouldn't be too hard on the line ops. Whereas you'll have other occasions, some of the supervisors,
Artifact detected. Artifact recovered.
they'll run every piece of equipment we've got as hard as they can. And I know it may be surprising to some people, but
Recovered. Power resource.
it's like, holy fuck. How dumb can you get? We're already running things so hard that we're ahead. We're like 2-3 weeks ahead, but now we're so far ahead, we had to shut down these lines for at least a week. I think I've already made this point. But my point, the point I was trying to make with this is that the job isn't, or factory work, all that jazz, isn't as easy as people think it is.
Research completed.
It's not. I think that's actually the point I was trying to make. Okay. Yeah, I think that, yeah, that was the point I think I was trying to make, that the job isn't as easy as people think it is. Not everything that you hear people complain about, like work-wise, whatever, it's a little bit more, like all things, it's a bit more complicated than people think. Oh, hey, I win.
Objective accomplished. Unit
I've been rambling about this shit for over 30 minutes now. And like I said, I've had this conversation eating at me for a while, and I think I buggered it up, lost my train of thought, whatever. But I think the point is that, yeah, there are plenty of jobs out there that you just stand in one place, operate machinery, but you can still, if you don't watch it, you can get complacent, lose fingers, and I think, like I said, I've been caught in the machines a few times. It's dangerous work. It is. And most people don't seem to appreciate the fact that everything that you hear about, now I know there's a lot of work overseas, whole topic I'm not going to get into right now, but a lot of people like me, people like the steel workers, who, at least the ones that are still here, we work hard, we face a lot of dangers. So, and there are times where we get paid next to nothing for it. Like I said earlier, the job that I work at, you start off at minimum wage. There's a place over the next town over. You're making tiles, backbreaking work. They'll work you as hard as they can and then let you go. So you probably got strain on your joints. You're probably going to start having arthritis. You probably hurt your back at some point. But they'll let you go so they don't have to pay you benefits. And they may hire you a few hours later. Or not a few hours later, a few weeks later. High turnover rate, or even higher than, or just as high, if not higher than, the fast food, retail, whatever industry. This turned into kind of a ranty slash I don't know video. I don't know where I was going with this, or I knew where I was going with this, and then it turned into I don't know where I was going with this. Anyways, I guess I'll see y'all later. Peace out.